This conference will now be recorded.
Ciao Juventini, ciao Bianconeri all over the world. We are Bianconeri YYZ in Toronto, just getting together after the match as we often do. Today, there's reason once more to celebrate as we're often are blessed by our Bianconeri heroes who have put on quite a display today in the Derby della Mole. Juventus beat Torino 4-1. With goals by Dybala, Quadrado, CR7, and an own goal to make it 4-1. Torino had halved Juventus's lead to 1, so 2-1 right at the end of the first half. So we're here with a number of distinguished guests. As always, we're quite blessed to have Ivan Groh, a member of the club, Dan Chiappetta, Anthony, also a member, Dan Di Chico, who is a member of the leadership team, Silvana, who's still getting set, but looking absolutely wonderful today and ready to go, ready to kick. That's right, with a Juve shirt, of course. And we also have Mary, who's joining us on the phone, so that's great. And you know, I'm not donning any Juve colors right now, but we do have to make one special memory here. Buffon, Gianluigi Buffon, who collected his 648th cap as a Serie A player, and that is a record-setting event. So congratulations to him. So we're just gonna go around. Why don't we talk about that? Go ahead, Silvana. Tell me anything you want about Buffon. Any memory that comes to mind about Buffon, about him as our hero. I'm gonna mute myself while you guys talk. Go ahead, Silvana.
Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, there's so many beautiful saves. There's so many beautiful moments he's had with the team. Just him as a person himself, how he is with as a leader, and how he is with all the teammates. He's just a great presence, and it really broke my heart when he retired, like for that year. It was really tough to be a fan when he left. I know it's Juve, it's about the team, but really my love for soccer is because of Buffon. And you know, that is the reason why I love Juventus and why I love the Azzurri and everything he's done in his whole career. It was a little bit of a slap in the face when he left to go to play for PSG, but I understood it was a very, very difficult year for him, you know, losing in Champions League, and then Italy not qualifying for the World Cup. That was like a rough year for Juventus fans and Italy fans alike. And I could understand his frustration and wanting to just, you know, leave. But you know, and for PSG to come to him and say, you know what, we still think you have it, you got it, you know, we're going to give you this money. I believe it was $8 million they offered him to go play for them. It was a 2-year contract, but he only stayed for the 1 year. But I was so happy when he came back, and the first thing I did was buy his jersey, his 77 jersey. I was really thrilled about that. And but there's so much, you know, and he's just a great presence there, and I hope that he continues on as a manager or a coach. I think it would be a great coach for Juve, definitely, 100%. I think everyone will agree.
I'm hoping to see him in the future with Juve one way or the other. He's too much of a soccer brain to just let it go to waste. In the meantime, I want to recognize Daniel Lonigro, who joined us. He's in Alberta. He's a member of our group as well. I just wanted Daniel, what's your one of your memories? If you can think about a picture of Buffon or a GIF of Buffon, let's say. Maybe a save, or maybe like a clip of something he said once, or a moment that he stepped up big time. What would that be? And everyone else, please think that too. I'm going to go to Chapetta after Daniel Lonigro.
Yeah, sorry guys for the video. I don't know, like for some reason still can't figure it out. But for Buffon, I think you see so many images of when he faces the Curva Sud and that gives a nice urlo, after a massive save. And I think for me, I've been lucky enough to watch Buffon play for Juve for my whole life with Juve. Obviously, I was born in the early 90s, so I've had the privilege of being able to witness his greatness from when we picked him up for 52 million euros, which seemed like a fortune back then, but what is really like everyone is saying for De Ligt now is worth every penny and more. And just such an unbelievable career. Such a lot of people were giving him stick for the red card against Real Madrid, but for me, it just showed how much passion he had for this club and him wanting to win that trophy so damn bad. So unbelievable career.
Cool.
And
all right, Dan Chiappetta. Go ahead, sir.
What can you say about this guy? I mean, for the past 20 years, however long it's been, I mean, he's been a lion. Like, I mean, if you look at his reactions after he makes a big save, or when he sees a big goal being scored, his presence, his passion, it fills the stadium. And if I had to pick a save, the one save I remember in a heartbreaking game, but I mean, it was probably one of the best saves I've ever seen in my life, was in the Champions League final against Milan on Pippo Inzaghi. I mean, I think about it now, and it leaves me speechless. When I think about him with the Azzurri, one save comes to mind. That save against Zidane in the final in 06. I don't, and I'm telling you now, I don't think we'll ever see in any country, in any team, a goalkeeper like Gianluigi Buffon. Ever, ever, ever. He is the greatest. He will go down as the greatest. And I mean, God bless him. Honestly, God bless him. And I hope, like whoever was saying about, I hope he stays with Juve in any type of managerial position.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's coaching. I don't care if he's coaching the keepers. I don't care if he's fucking selling water. We need to keep him with Juve forever.
He's too good for that. Come on.
He can be selling beer.
Right. I'm gonna go to Mary. Mary, what do you memory from Buffon?
I'm with everybody else. Every time he's cheered on, every time he's at the other side of the net watching his team on the other side and they score a goal, the face, the excitement, the leadership, the tears, you cry with him. I don't know what it is with him. It's the emotions are so real. There's not one time. I just love the guy. He's amazing. That's it. Just like everybody else, same thing. Keep him. Let him be part of anything of our team. He absolutely deserves to be there more than anybody else. I just love him. He's a leader, 100%. That's it.
Thank you. Anthony, then Daniel, then Ivan. Let's wrap this round up. Anthony, then Daniel, then Ivan. Daniel DiCicco. Yeah. And Anthony.
Yep. So for me, I'm going to say, I'm going to give a memory for the Azzurri and one for Juve. So for the Azzurri, it's got to be obviously World Cup final. That save on Zidane, same thing. I got to say that. That's the one that I think of, and that's the one that really comes to mind when I think of Buffon and the Azzurri. And then for Juve, there's so many. I think of. I think there's so many. Like just like in I think it was in 2015 or 2017 when we qualified for the final. I just remember him yelling "Andiamo." I can't remember if that was 2015 or 2017 now, but I just remember that.
Okay. We're gonna go to Daniel Di Chico, and then Ivan.
So I'm gonna have, I have a couple here. There are actually three. So two of them are gonna be very similar to the one Chiappetta mentioned. For the Azzurri, just winning that World Cup. I was 19 years old. You know, we were out with a bunch of friends, a bunch of Italians and some French guys, and we were having a blast. We ended up winning. That day was such a glorious moment in my life, and just to share that and the joy with the team as well as my friends, amazing, amazing. And for Juve, just an absolute stalwart. So I can sit here all night and list out specific moments, and I'm gonna pick one that isn't an on-field moment. I'm gonna pick the time where he got subbed off and he made the tour around the stadium, and he was adorned with hundreds of scarves. He was crying the whole time. It's very emotional. That to me really showed his true dedication and his passion to the club. And it really showed everyone's love for him. Like, to see everyone crying in the stands as he walked around and did his lap, and to be adorned with scarves and hats and merchandise. He looked unbelievable. I mean, we could talk about his saves and his on-field performances forever, but to me that was very impactful because you know, it was his sending off. And for him to go to PSG after that was a little bit of, you know, it was a little bit of a bother, but it was very genuine in the moment, and that was very it hit me right here when that happened, especially as a longtime Juventini. That'd probably be my favorite moment. He did go to PSG. It upset me a little bit. Glad to have him back. And yeah, he's obviously going to stay in a managerial position of some sort for forever. So let's hope at least.
Yeah, Dan is someone, Dan Di Chico is someone you don't want to upset. I can tell you. Another guy you don't want to get upset, you don't want to upset is Ivan. So I'm going to go without further ado to him on Buffon.
Well, a couple things. I'd like to join him in offering Michael Oliver bel piatto di patatine. You know, l'immondizia in posto del suo cuore. You know, the garbage in his heart. You know, I remember that. So I remember that was a telling thing. He was really upset. You can see how much it meant to him. But you know, I'm not going to mention everything that everybody said, because you guys all mentioned, you know, the saves and the particular moments, and there's many for him. I think the one that really stands out is one of his counterparts, who was, you know, they say he's better than Buffon, and it's Iker Casillas. And Casillas has said on numerous occasions, before big games, in order to get himself psyched up, he wears the shorts of Gigi Buffon, because at one point they exchanged kits, and whenever he feels like he needs a little bit extra encouragement, he dons Gigi's shorts in order to get that. So that says a lot. You know, the guy that is supposedly, you know, the guy that people say no, Casillas is better, Buffon's better. When you hear stuff like that, when Iker Casillas says he is by far the best there ever was, it means a lot, because Casillas is a champion, is an absolute legend in his own right. So that's one thing that really sticks out for me, is just the accolade he gets from everyone else, and you just say he's untouchable, and he really is. He's untouchable.
Yeah. Well, if I can just take the conch for a second and just give my one piece on it is, I mean, I find it amazing that, I mean, the best thing is when someone who's your colleague compliments you and gives you those kind of accolades. Wearing, you know, when I need encouragement, he said he wears Buffon's shorts. You know, when I need encouragement, I wear Matuidi's underwear. You know, but anyway, I've met Gianluigi Buffon. I've had the pleasure of meeting him once in person, and absolutely, you feel like even though you're in the presence of probably the statesman of Italian football and of football in the world, you are made to feel like he's like so honored to be there with you, to be there for the fans. And I remember this was in Boston, near Boston. Someone, all the players were running through, just signing quickly, and we're trying to get the hell out of there. And the two players that stayed back and took their time the most were Buffon and Chiellini, two guys that have been there for going to be 16 and 20 years respectively. And it's as if it was their first year, and just time with everyone. Oh, you want an autograph? Oh, the second shirt too? Oh, you want a picture? All right. Like, no, not even flinching. Smiles, thing, he had his picture face on, like, that kind of thing. He's just great. Just a great guy. So he deserves that and more. So, I don't know, did we play today? I think we did. So what do you guys make of Juve's form right now? Because honest, we left off, we trashed Lecce, and guess what? We came back the next game, and I think, I don't know, are we playing better than we were 3 or 4 games ago? Have we stepped it up? Are we coming into a nice rhythm? And I see Dan DiCicco nodding his head fairly feverishly, so I'm going to give him the floor. Go ahead, DiCicco. Unmute yourself, please.
It's pretty evident that in the past 2 games, we've really been connecting in the final third a lot better, more creative. Passes have been crisp. It's evident in the scoreline, but what I was saying to you earlier about is this kind of how is Sarri taking a book from Allegri, a page out of his book where, you peak at the very end of the season. And that's what I was referring to when I said the wounded lion approach, where you're just kind of in the weeds, and then at the end, you come out for the attack. So I really think these past 2 games, we've shown a lot of cohesion. The midfield has stepped up tremendously, believe it or not. As much as we all like to say, we could improve in that aspect, played well. The final third, though, the creativity in that area was phenomenal in the past 2 games. And it's obvious it's going to get better, which is amazing, because I can see that every game that's going by, we're on the ascendancy. So when we come and we play Atalanta, when we play Lazio, I think we're going to be in really good form in the next couple weeks. And hopefully this translates into peaking in August when we start back up in Champions League. So that's my take on it. I mean, clear as day to me. Everyone else is likely going to agree that there was some good fluidity. The Sarrismo, the quick passing and everything, you could see it in glimpses, and it was a little bit more broad. So extension of the play, it wasn't quick 1-2 and the play broke down. We had a lot of possession, and going forward, I'm going to see a lot more of that. I can guarantee it.
Cool. So does anyone want to come in on how our play is improving, if it's improving, and any views on the starting lineup? If there was anything that Sarri got wrong, Rabiot got time again. I think all the other choices were pretty much forced. Douglas Costa didn't start. Any thoughts about any of that? And just put your finger up if you want to come in quick on that. Anyone? Or just jump in. Go ahead, Anthony. Yeah, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah. So I think, I agree with everything Daniel said. I think you guys really starting to hit form right now, and kind of are getting the hang of Sarri ball, I think. And Rabiot there was a big improvement. I think that's been huge since after the break. He's been a lot better than before. Even before the break, he was kind of getting a little better, but now especially you can kind of see that he's been I think important in that respect, because up until now, it's been mostly like Bentancur just carrying that midfield, and you know, after that, it's been kind of weak. And then, but now, you know, Rabiot seems to be stepping up a bit. Hopefully, he continues to improve there. I think that'll be very important. Yeah, and I think, you know, I thought Danilo played okay today. He was fine. He was good. Bernardeschi still needs some work, but he was okay. You know, so I think, you know, as long as you know, the right guys keep stepping up, you know, we have Dybala who's red hot right now, Ronaldo, you know, those guys, you know, and Douglas Costa when he comes on, I think bringing him on, doing what Sarri's doing, bringing him on, you know, early second half, I think that's been key, and I think that's going to be an important strategy, particularly in the Champions League. I think it's going to be really important. So yeah, I think I'm optimistic.
I would agree with a lot of what you said there. I think I know Silvana wants to come in, and I want her to talk. I want her to talk about a lot of things, but I want her to also highlight for us Dybala's icebreaker right at the 3rd minute, inside the 3rd minute. Go ahead, Silvana.
Well, it was just exceptional.
Yep.
I mean,
he only scores beauties now, doesn't he?
Pardon?
He only scores beauties now, doesn't he?
He always scores beauties. No, I'm finding that they're playing more as a team versus, okay, let's feed Ronaldo the ball. That's what I'm finding. It's like, and then today, you know, I'm sorry, I'm going off about Dybala, but with Ronaldo, when he was very unselfish when he gave the ball, when he passed the ball to Quadrado to score. And I'm finding that he's being he's become more of a team player versus, okay, feed me the ball. I think he knows it's not working. Just like it worked for him in Real Madrid, it's not going to work for him with Juventus. You know, I think they need to share the ball, and now that's why Dybala's scoring more and the positioning. But yes, I find it's a totally different team from what we saw before the break. And yeah, Dybala's doing really good, and his goal is exceptional, and that was a beautiful opening. And I think he has his confidence back, and the fact that he's playing him and Ronaldo play well together. I don't even know why they even suggested that they wouldn't be able to play well together. They're playing beautifully together.
Right.
Bernardeschi, I don't know, like he tries. It's just every attempt is just it never, there's no end product with his attempt. It just seems like it's like he's cursed or something, but you know, the effort is there. Whoops.
And Gianfranco's goatee is very thankful.
Oh yes, his goatee is safe right now. I actually thought of that.
Nice. He's fine. He's safe. He didn't want to double down. I think we needed to up our stakes on our side. Maybe we can get him to come in and do that once. And that would be something.
Yeah.
So you talked about the Dybala's goal inside 3 minutes, and then not too long after that we made it 2, and you kind of got the sense that the game was killed off. You know, the offense kept coming, the quick passing, you know, we get the flow. There's a different flow to the game. Either I don't know if Torino is just that badly in shambles or what was going on, but we were finding open spaces and connecting passes quickly at an incredible pace, like, you know, a pace that I haven't seen before. Again, like 11 goals over the last 3 games. You know, it's been great and great to see and great to watch. And you know, for even Juventini are used to suffering through matches and, you know, nail biting. You know, biting your nails, just holding on to tiny leads all the way till the end of regulation. But no, we've been spoiled that way. But at the end of the first half, we have one of the events of the match that, you know, eventually led to to Torino scoring their 1 goal. I was talking privately with Ivan, and I said, you know, I think that you can characterize this game as Juventus 4, Maresca 1. Maresca being the referee from this game here. So, you know, I think that's, I don't know, is that too harsh? I think that penalty just was non-existent. I see. Why don't we go to Dan? Dan, Dan Chapetta, if you wanted to comment on the officiating. I don't almost ever complain about officials. But this officiating today was absolutely atrocious. There were yellow cards doled out like candy at Halloween. I don't know what the heck's going on. So go ahead, Dan. Come in, Chapetta.
I honestly thought the refereeing today was absolutely atrocious. Like you said, I mean but how can you get it wrong with VAR? You had, I mean, you're watching it close up. How can you get that wrong? You're right. It was Juve 4 and I don't know, whatever, Oliver Jr., whatever his name is, 1.
Maresca, yeah.
I think he was awful. That guy should be in City of Chief for all, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I think he was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the second half, you know, letting this go, but calling that, it's just, I didn't, you know, when you get these, I don't know how much these referees are getting paid. I don't know, but I mean, you can try to be better than that. It leaves me a little bit speechless at times because you're coaching refereeing in one of the better leagues in the world as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, they might rank us 5th out of the 5 or whatever they want, but I think that, you know, we're in one of the top leagues in the world. And if you're getting paid to officiate one of these games, especially a game involving, you know, Juve, I'm not saying we should get all the calls, but I mean, you got to do a lot better than that.
Yeah, no, and just so everyone knows the context for all of you who are going to watch this video once it's posted on YouTube, and you know, and you'll be watching it in 2021. We're talking about the game, the incident where Torino was awarded a penalty shot after Ligt got in the way of a shot that hit his body first and then his arm, which, yes, wasn't attached to his body. But that said, that kind of foul is never called. That's never given as a foul, or especially a foul leading to a penalty. What added insult to injury is the fact that he was brandished a yellow card, and by the virtue of that, he will be suspended for the next match because he was carrying 4 already. So he will be missing the next match against Milan. So I think that was the most egregious error. There was a second yellow in the second half that he gave to Dybala for simulation. So in other words, he sought a foul. He made it look like he was looking for a foul, maybe a penalty. It wasn't even in the box. I don't understand why he was given still a simulation for that. There was contact. There appeared to be contact, at least from a few camera angles that I saw. And Maresca didn't think twice to give him a second yellow. Several other yellows went to Pjanic, went to Bonucci in the first half. You know, it really got me worried about the possibility of getting both of our starting center backs out for the next match. But we're going to get to what the formation will do for next. Do you guys want to talk anything about, anyone want to come in about the yellows to Dybala, to Ligt, the officiating in general today? Come on in. Go ahead, Ivan.
We talked about this offline a bit. The only one that I think that has any leg to stand on for Juve to contest is De Ligt's yellow for his handball, which is, he can call it a penalty, but to give him a yellow card on that as well is absolutely ridiculous. So, But then, you know, saying that, you know, Pecoraro is the sporting judge, then we have more issue there than we actually think. So I'm not holding my breath, but if Juve is going to contest one of them, that's going to be the one. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, it seemed like the calls were a bit sketchy too today. Like even even Torino, one of their defenders, I think, no, the free kick goal, which I'm sure we'll get into in just a little bit, but the guy who actually got the handball from Torino, he turned around. He didn't mean to do it. Okay, he had his hand out, but he didn't mean to hit, you know.
But intention doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Intention is not relevant, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing that.
Rock, but with you don't give a yellow for that either. Even that guy got a yellow.
Yellow is harsh. I think you're right. No, the yellow was harsh. The yellow was harsh.
So
while you're on that, and I just want to use this as a quick segue, that free kick from that ensuing foul, a free kick was awarded, and as we all know, Ronaldo scored on direct free kick. You know, in that's the first time he scores on direct free kick after 43 attempts. And after the game, actually, I did some digging, guys. And he said he revealed the secret of how he was able to figure out and score this time. And he said, I just visualized the wall being set up on the goal line.
That's awesome.
So, all right. So let's give Anthony the floor for a quick second to talk about anything. The yellows. You want to talk about Ronaldo's free kick goal, which was put the game provisionally on the 3-1 score line. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yep. Yeah, I think finally about time for Ronaldo to get one. I think that was a big. I think that psychologically that's gonna be a relief for him. I think I'm hoping anyway that now going forward maybe he'll get a few more, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for that. But I think anyway I read a quote somewhere online. I think it was him where he said that, or I think Sarri was quoting him. He said, "Look, at last I finally got one," and you could tell that he was relieved when he scored that. I finally get one, I think. So yeah, so that was great. And then the cards, I think, the yellow cards, I think will be good today. Well, like pretty much all of them seem. I mean, if looking at it long term, maybe it's better to miss a game against Milan than potentially pick up a card against Milan or Atalanta and then miss a harder game against Atalanta or Lazio. So
yeah,
I'll look at it positively and say maybe okay, it wasn't horrible necessarily to miss the match against Milan. Then again, Milan won 3-0 I think today against Lazio. So pretty good for
That's
us.
the only time I'm happy for them.
Yeah. It shows maybe we don't want to underestimate Milan too at the same time.
Yeah. It's funny because I was just thinking, maybe and somewhat arrogantly, and of course with smirking, I thought to myself, maybe Juve is card cleaning now, against Milan, so that they clear all those out against Atalanta and Lazio. But that's an important point. I mean, while we're on that, we should mention that. And by the way, I do like the fact that during when I'm talking, a lot of people are sipping nice fresh drinks. I saw Ivan the beer. I remember Ramin had some scotch. There you go, nice. Beer from Dan. What's Anthony doing? There you go. Hey, there you go. Hey, Canada Dry. Okay, well at least there's no sugar in it. Okay. So 7 points with 8 games to go. So when you start to you see the number of points difference between us and the second place team starts to get equal to or gets greater than the number of games remaining. That's when good stuff is coming. So that's I'm really glad to hear. I'm really glad to see that. Because Daniel Negro hasn't said anything. Dan, you want to come in on any of this? The yellow cards, the officiating, Ronaldo's goal, any of the above?
Well, in terms of Ronaldo, I still don't think he should be taking any free kicks anyways, even if he scored today or not, to be quite honest. But no, the officiating was atrocious. I just got off a podcast with Luca and we were talking exactly about that. Dybala, he barely dodges the guy who's trying to make the tackle, and like that's considered a yellow card. Okay, that's news to me. And then you look at the Ligt, and I think Serie A and football in general just needs to get the handball corrected because it's become so convoluted. And when it hits the player's thigh, I don't understand how that would affect uh, it ricocheting and hitting his arm makes no effect on the play. So I don't know why they made these rules so convoluted. They were talking about extension of the body. I mean, what can the guy do? What can the guy do?
No, yeah, no. To be honest, there is no jurisprudence on that. Like all the past calls that have been made on that is body to hand, be it your foot to hand, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not called a penalty.
Yeah.
It's not called a ever.
They need to go back to hand to ball and ball to hand as the guiding principle, and that's it. They tried to jump with the Premier League, and I think it's caused more problems than anything.
No, I agree. I just wanted to report something and maybe get your opinion on this. So Longo, who is Torino's coach, stated that Juve suffered and Torino dominated chunks of the game. So now I believe that he was watching the under-8 Derby della Mole. I have no clue what he was talking about. Anyone want to comment on that? I don't know. Go ahead.
Maybe he said it just to make himself and his players feel better. I don't know. I don't know what game this guy was. Maybe he was playing PS4 during the halftime break. But I mean, for him to say that is like saying the penalty for Torino was absolutely correct. I mean, you can say what you. I mean, maybe he's trying to save face. I don't know, but I mean, give your head a shake, bud. You guys sucked. Just say it. You sucked. Say we didn't play well. They outplayed us. We had no space to do anything. We bottled them up pretty much. It's laughable. It's comical. It's Torino.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring something up. You guys noticed how many times do Bernardeschi, sometimes Dybala does this, and Douglas Costa, they end up getting perfect ball through to them, and the ball ends up on their right foot. Anyone who's right-footed would just put their right foot through the ball and just at least, shot at the goal. What do? They overrun it and try and get it so they shoot or pass or cross or turn around because they have to use their left. Now they're all left-footed players. Is it just me noticing that? It annoys the hell out of me. Anyone else? Anyone in on this?
No, I noticed it too. It is pretty annoying. Just have a shot. If it's on your right, have a shot. What's the worst that can happen? It goes in.
I know, but especially since they have a perfect, like it's a preferred avenue. I know it's not their preferred foot, but it's the best kind of solution that they could do, considering the circumstances.
Well, wouldn't it be smart? Sorry, wouldn't it be smart for them to practice more with their right foot, like at practice? If that's their weakness, then and I'm sure they're noticing it as well. They should be practicing with their right as well. That should be the big thing for them.
Absolutely. I mean, look. I said this. I tweeted this out in Italian. Like they call it, players who can shoot with both feet are called ambidextrous, right? You can use both feet. And Matuidi he's not ambidestro, but he's ambisinistro. He's awful with both feet. He's like that guy. That guy's disgusting. Like, okay, but we appreciate his running, all the running he does. But I just wanted to, before I move on, I haven't given enough. It's just more of an out of sight, out of mind type situation. So I apologize to Mary. But I wanted to give Mary the floor and maybe talk to us a little bit about the yellows and about the officiating, about anything she wants, any of the above, including our current 7-point gap. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so I saw the first one because of the penalty shot, and yeah, I agree with you guys. And then I messaged you, Rocco, because I had walked away. I was talking to my mom, and I missed the whole Dybala thing. So I can't even comment on that because I didn't even go back to check it. So I'm going with what you guys are saying as far as that. And just hearing that he was out of the next game, I'm like, what the hell did he do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So now that I hear you guys and your comments, then okay, so it wasn't really a valid thing to do. Yeah, well, the officiating, you know, I always take it with a grain of salt sometimes when it comes with Juve. So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm excited, of course, because Dybala scored. Obviously, he's amazing. Always has been amazing, and I'm glad you guys. I can't see your faces because I know you guys probably are rolling your eyes, but it's okay. I love him. I'm super happy.
We love him.
I don't care what anybody says. I love him. He's going to be a star. And if people like Marquisio and Buffon and the whole world can see it, then there's something missing then if no one else sees it. As for Ronaldo, I'm super happy about it. I'm telling you, I couldn't be happier the other day when he finally friggin' scored. And today, of all days, it was great. It was fun. Like I'm happy because I know more things, better things will come because it's that little guy that's been on his shoulder for I don't know how long, and I think he's going to open up the gate to even better performances from him because I haven't seen him shine like since he got here. So,
so he's going to be hitting them all the time, right?
Well,
he's going to go on a tear,
scoring
all the free kicks. 33 in a row.
So. He's got 25 now for us.
Yeah, I don't know when the next one will be, but I think he's got that. Like he said, it's going to be the confidence. And to hear Ronaldo say that it doesn't matter who scores as long as we win, I was shocked because I never thought he would believe in something like that.
He's growing up.
I was shocked.
I think
our little boy's growing up.
I think the next time Ronaldo scores from a direct free kick, I'll be retired. But anyway, I wanted Ramin to come in. I just and to recognize that Ramin has just joined us. Thanks, Ramin. Talk to us about anything you want to talk about in today's game, including a little tip of the hat to Buffon for his 648th Serie A cap.
So Rocco, one housekeeping item, guys. So if you see yourselves being muted, that's me doing it because we're getting feedback throughout the calls. So don't take offense to it. Whenever you said something's happening, it's just me in the background. We're just getting some feedback. Once Rocco calls you up, I'm going to unmute you and you're going to be ready to talk. Okay. So sorry guys, if you're seeing and we're playing with that, I just want to let you know that's me doing that, so we don't get feedback in the call. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Hi guys. I'm late because I've been drying my bathroom since the guy upstairs did it again. Anyway, it was a great game today. It was that's my excuse for being late, Rocco. It was finally Cristiano Ronaldo scored from a free kick, which took him what, a year and a half to get it done. Almost. Dybala scored. He scored, and of course Higuain almost scored. So we're going well. We're doing well. I'm sorry that the Ligt and Dybala are going to miss the game with Milano, but it's probably better, as somebody commented on Facebook. It's probably better to miss that game than the other two important games later on, which could be more crucial. So yeah, that was great.
That was Anthony.
Yes, well done, Anthony. And what can you say about Buffon? I mean, he's a legend and still going well. He makes saves. He still jumps around like a wild cat in the goal and stops opposition's shots. And I just feel sorry that he's not in the national team. But I think he did the right thing to step back, because national team was another issue anyway. But today was a great game to watch. So Forza Juve.
Lafine, it's really hard to be too critical and complain. I mean, other than bemoan the suspensions that will surely come for Dybala and De Ligt. Juventus gained 3 points on second place Lazio by virtue of their home loss to Milan, and that matured a few hours ago, not too long ago. And so 3-0 the final there. Lazio looked like they were going to escape once again, maybe, and come from behind and win or even tie it up. But that wasn't the case. So good for us. That's, I think, a little match point, if you'll forgive the tennis reference, for us. 3 points that, who knows, if we're able to maintain this lead, or even a 4-point lead going into the direct encounter with Lazio in 3 or 4 match days, then things should be looking pretty good for mathematically securing the 9th consecutive Scudetto. That's really good news. I'm cognizant of time. We did start a little later, but I'd like to wrap this up maybe in an hour, since the flow is going nicely, and just talk about the replacements that we will have. Who should we replace in the starting lineup for De Ligt and Dybala against Milan? And after that, we're going to do another round quickly on what your prediction is of that game. So I'm going to start with Daniel Lonigro and ask him, who should we play instead of De Ligt and Dybala for the match against Milan? Go ahead, Daniel. Please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, so for next game, that's going to be tough, because a lot of people are thinking Rugani. I don't know if we want to put him into the fire, but there's not a lot of options. So I think you put Rugani in, and up top, I think you put Higuain as the number 9 and see how it works. We've been looking for someone, obviously, in the market. Obviously, as Milik is one of the options we're talking about. I think Higuain can fulfill that role next game. If you look how he came on, he might. The thing is his fitness, and it's going to be tough, because I didn't really say before, but we haven't really we've looked good, but we haven't looked great. There's no team that's really jammed the back line like they did against like when we played against Milan and Napoli. And yeah, I think a lot of teams have just given us a lot of space. So if we get that space taken away against Milan, it's going to be a tough game. But those are my 2 options.
Okay, sounds reasonable. I'm going to go to Mary, then Dan DiCicco. Go ahead, Mary. Who do you think we should play instead of, De Ligt? Looks like it'll be Rugani. Maybe who would you play instead of Dybala? Who do you think, Costa, or maybe as Daniel suggested, Higuain, someone else?
Okay.
Please unmute yourself, Mary. We can't hear you if you're close to the phone. Okay, we're gonna skip her. Oh, no, there she is. Go ahead, Mary.
I was unmuted. I would go with, I can never say his name properly, so excuse me. I would go with Higuain. Yeah, I can never say his name. I'm so sorry, buddy. So either or is okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Cool. DiCicco, the replacements for De Ligt and Dybala?
Ligt, we're basically looking at Rugani only. I don't think Chiellini is ready to stand in there yet. So we're putting in Rugani, it seems. I don't think there's another option there. In attack, I'm going to have to say Higgy is going to have to start as the number 9 because Costa is much more effective coming off the bench against tired legs, especially in a game that's going to be very cagey against Milan. So we're going to need that switch up at the very end of the game potentially to blow the doors open. So I certainly wouldn't start him. So if Higuain can manage a good 60 minutes at least, then he's got to start for sure.
Okay. And where would you, sorry if you already addressed this, but where would you play him? Would he be, so you said up top as a number 9 and Dybala on the right and Ronaldo on the left? Is that
Dybala's out, so Higgy would starting as the number 9, the prima punta, and Bernardeschi on the right wing, and then Costa has to come in the mix in the 60th minute or so, around there, I'm guessing. And we're kind of limited in options because those are 2 positions that we're struggling a little bit with as far as depth. So mostly because of injuries, but what have you.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say I find it ironic that people point out to how deep Juve's team is, but we're lousy with injuries, and the people who are fit, they're barely, they could barely go like a half hour at a high intensity level. So I find that to be not quite. But that said, we shouldn't be crying so much because like the likes of Lazio today were absolutely depleted. I mean, they were depleted in the last couple of games. They were missing, they're still missing Radu and Lulic and all kinds of players like in the middle. And on top of that, they were playing today without Caicedo and of course their talisman Immobile. So, we have it better than most still. So we're lucky that way. I'm going to go to Silvana again. Who would your replacement be? And then after that, Chiappetta, Anthony, and then Ramin. Go ahead.
Well, I have to agree with Daniel. Higuain in the front. How Costa's like a super sub when he comes in later in the game. He's more effective. And in the back there, we don't have much choice because our 2 guys are injured there, Chiellini and what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. Pardon? Yes. Oh my God, yes. So I mean, there's really not choice there. So hopefully we're gonna win. We're gonna win against this Milan. We're fine. We're grooving. We're fine. It doesn't matter who you put on. We're gonna win against them.
Good. I like that attitude. We're emboldened right now. So Chiappetta, you're also down for Higuain to replace Dybala as a starter? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he'll play in the middle between Ronaldo and Bernardeschi. It's funny. I mean Bernardeschi tries. I give him a beat for effort, but I kind of like even if Dybala was going to be in the game, I kind of feel like he just slows it down because he just can't get it going. He can't score. He can't. I mean, I would so much rather see Costa play in his place, and I know he wouldn't because he's better coming off the bench and, like you said, attacking those tired legs. But man, I love watching Douglas Costa play. That kid he is flash. His first step, man, he gets by you, bye-bye. But I mean, obviously we know that it would be Bernardeschi anyway. And then in the back, it has to be Rugani. We have nobody else. Unless Sarri wants to lace him up, and we have nobody.
Oh, God.
It's going to be Rugani and Higuain in place of Ligt and Dybala.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. One thing I've noticed is that apparently Chiellini might be about a week away from joining and from seeing action. So of course that would be too soon, being Tuesday, right? So I could, of course, Ugani's start, but I think that what's his name? That Chiellini will be dressed for this match, and hopefully you won't have to. Hopefully you won't have to, but in an emergency situation, he might even get called onto the field. So just keep your eyes peeled for that one. Anthony, then so just even if it's a quick fire, I think everyone's okay with would go with Higuain. Anyone of you between Anthony, Ramin, and Ivan, shake your head if you wouldn't go for Higuain instead of if you would not go for Higuain instead of Dybala to start. Shake your head.
I would actually change a bit with not Costa or Bernardeschi. I would actually see Ramsey start with Ronaldo and Iggy. Ramsey
really?
Was rested, right? So I would see, and Ramsey is
behind the striker.
I would actually have him behind both of them. That's what I would see that happening. I could see that happening against Milan. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he didn't play. He's rested, and there's nothing saying that he was injured or he's still getting back to game shape. But I have a feeling that's going to be Ramsey starting on against Milan, because Bernardeschi's had his fair share of starting, and so has Costa, and they've done well, right? But I have a sensation that Ramsey's going to be starting with Iggy, and Rugani to give me. That's our alternative, right? That's it.
Yeah. So, and I'm just going to use that as a segue. I started thinking about when you were talking about playing differently, switching formation a little bit. And I'm going to go to Ramin first, and then Anthony on how the way we've been playing Milan this year, right? So they've been pretty cagey matches, 0-0, 1-1. I think in the home leg we beat them 1-0, if memory serves me right. I don't remember coming off just right off the top of my head, but do you think that kind of a range, do you think something needs to be mixed up with this formation, or are the two forced changes enough? Ramin, go ahead.
Well, the way we've been playing in the last 3 games, I believe, has been a lot more closer formation, quick passes. Today especially, that really bamboozled Torino players. That's why they couldn't come close, because as soon as they tried to approach, the ball was already gone. So they would have then missed it to the because the ball had gone to the other side, to the other players. Having Ramsey there perhaps works, because he should be very familiar with the system since they've been training. But whether he lasts the whole game, that's the other question. Having Higuain up front, it's probably a given. Having Rugani at the back is probably a given. I'd love to see Chiellini come in. Hopefully not because of an injury, because we are in front, and he doesn't have to push himself too much coming off an injury and all that. But in the middle of the park, I probably wouldn't change much, because the system seems to be working. Although we've been playing against weaker teams, yes, but I would say the game we lost to Napoli was probably the worst game, the worst situation that could happen, because everybody was coming off a long quarantine and lockdown measures. So in hindsight, they should probably play it now or a couple of weeks later, that game. They shouldn't have played the cup game that early, coming off. But it's happened, and we've learned a lesson. And I think we've been playing a lot better since we've restarted the season. So I wouldn't change the middle of the park at all.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Anthony. What your sorry, and Ramin, just in this round here, I also wanted to ask about your prediction for the game, quickly.
For Milan is probably 2-1 for us.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, your prediction and anything on the starting lineup, what you would change other than the two forced changes that we already discussed.
Yeah, so I think prediction, I'm going to say, again, I'm going to agree with Ramin. I think 2-1, maybe 3-1, maybe. I don't think we'll keep the clean sheet with Rosani back there, but you never know. Yeah, I think we're going to give up a goal probably at some point. So I'll say 2-1. I think that's probably realistic. The changes, I wouldn't change too much. I think they're getting into a groove. I think Higuain and Rugani are probably enough. You don't want to destabilize it too much. Hopefully we can get a comfortable lead, and then we can use the 5 substitutions, and I think that'll be important. So hopefully we can do that. But yeah, I have a feeling the midfield is going to be. I mean, Matuidi might start, maybe. I can see that happening in place of either Rabiot or maybe even Pjanic. You never know. And then yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think where else. I think we're going to see the fullbacks are going to be the same because we don't really have any other options. Ramsey, I have a feeling off the bench. I think we'll see him if we need some thrust from the midfield in the second half. I think. I'm not sure if he'll start. I'm not sure if I don't think he's been injured. Like I haven't said, I don't think he's been injured, but and it's possible he could start in place of Bernardeschi, but I think he's going to stick with the 4-3-3 for now rather than change shape. Because with Ramsey, I think it's more like a 4-3-1-2. So I think he'll stick with the shape that's been working and probably go with there. And then if Ramsey comes in, I think it'll be second. That's just my guess. We'll see that.
Okay. I don't think I went to Daniel Lonigro on the last. No, I think we did. We did go to him on the last thing, and we'll come up to him around again. But Ivan, what's your prediction against Milan, and what other than the change you already talked about with Ramsey coming in instead of Bernardeschi, let's say sit in behind Higuain and Ronaldo, and Rugani replacing the Ligt. Any other changes other than that, and your prediction?
I'm calling 3-1. I really think that where we are different is the pressure from the forwards and the shape and how quick we are. So I'm just hoping that I'll gladly eat my words. I'm hoping that Sarri ball is finally taking shape. There's some glimpses of it. He's making those constant changes where it's Pjanic out at 60 minutes and it's either someone else coming in for Pjanic and then changing the shape and having Bentancur hit the middle. I'd like to see him start with Benta in the middle. Let's see how he dictates the play right from the get-go, and see where if Pjanic hits the bench, and see if it's I know we talk about Matuidi, but let's see what a Matuidi, Bentancur, Rabiot looks like from the start.
Let me ask you something. What do you make of Pjanic playing so great since he's basically been made official that he's playing for Barcelona starting, the next transfer window? What do you make of that?
I think it's just the pressure's off. He's got that. I think he had that monkey on his back for a while, and I think he knew it was coming. And it's just like, it's that exhale, right? You knew it's happening, and you're okay, and there's that suspense, and finally, boom, it's done. So you can actually move on, right? And that's a sense of okay, it's closure, moving on. This is what it is. Okay. and I'm going somewhere else next year, but let me make this the best possible. And he's really got nothing to lose at this point. He really doesn't. I don't think he's the appropriate person for Sarri's style of play. He wasn't that 60, 70 touch player in Rome. He's a mezzala, so in my opinion. So I like to see Benta start. That's where I would change.
All right, Dan Lonigro, and then we're gonna go to Silvana after that. Dan, what's your prediction for the game and any changes to the lineup other than De Ligt and Dybala being subbed off?
Nope. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Obviously, we have 2 fixes we need to make, obviously because of cards. But you guys are sure optimistic. I like it. I'm thinking it's going to be a 1-0 win. Just going to be a very tight game. On the Pjanic topic, I honestly think the reason why he's looked so good is because all these teams have given us so much space. You look at where he's sitting just outside the box. Watch the game against Milan again in the Coppa Italia. He was sitting near center half. So when these teams play, when they drop back into 5 as a back line in the defensive half, you're looking at so much space, and they've been really narrow, these teams that we've played. Obviously, Lecce was probably the toughest, but then they got the red card. So I think it's going to be 1-0. It's going to be a hard-fought game, and hopefully a Ronaldo PK.
Awesome. That's the best way, in style. But there's only one thing better than a Ronaldo PK 1-0 win. It's a 97th minute Dybala PK win.
Well, that's all Ronaldo can score right now, so we got to take what we can get.
Actually,
So Silvana,
the last 2 goals he did were beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And
Thank
he's
you,
gonna have another one next game.
Easy there, Silvana.
Too.
Easy there, Chicky.
Well,
No.
my baby's on the bench, so Ronaldo's I see Ronaldo scoring another one. It's just so much positivity going there. They're playing so well together. They're Higuain, he's due for one. I think he's gonna have one as well. They're gonna play well. They're just showing each game that they're really playing well. Yes, they have some issues right now, but I think they'll be fine. They're gonna be fine. I'm not worried.
I agree. I agree with 1-0.
1-0. Okay. And Silvana says 2-0. Higuain and Ronaldo.
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. Okay. All right. Cool.
think it's going to be
Mary
1-0.
Mary already came in. I'm gonna 1-0. Okay. 1-0. Mary.
Because remember,
For you,
AC Milan played against Lazio and they won today. So they're going to be so high in the air and they're going to be like, yeah, we did Lazio, we're going to do Juve. So Juve better come out and be strong, because you know what? I have a feeling AC Milan is going to come out like una bomba, as you guys would say.
Don't give us corny, man.
I'm just
Mary,
saying.
we're gonna bring him down.
I'm never one to be negative, but I agree with the 1-0. I do. It will be I think it's going to be a tight game. As much as I want them to win, the 3-1 was my initial, but I think the 1-0 only because AC Milan today beat Lazio, and wow, did they beat them? So that's all I'm saying. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go on.
No, cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for that contribution. I'm going to go to Di Chico and then Chiappetta to finish the round, and we're going to wrap it up right there.
Predictions. I'm going to say it's going to be a very hard-fought, cagey match. These next few games are going to be very important for us, so getting by, I think it's going to be a 2-1. We might even squeak a 2-1, like it might be 1-1, and then we squeak the 2. I'm going to say Ronaldo, and Higgy's going to score the first one. And I'm even going to go as far as saying on Milan, maybe Rebic or Ibra is going to pop one in. And I think it's going to be a tough match. I think we're going to be neck and neck, and we're going to win towards the end.
Cool. Chiappetta?
You know what? It's gonna be a hard fought game. I'll say 1-0. Who's gonna score? I don't know. Whatever. Wayne, honestly, I don't care who scores as long as we win. But yeah, I'll say 1-0, and I think it's gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be tough.
Ew, no.
It could be. You never know. Yeah, Daniil could score. He's had some shots on net
Famous
that
last
have looked
word.
pretty good. So I'm just I'll leave it there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I think everyone had a chance at that last round. I don't know. I didn't skip Anthony, did I? No. No. Okay, cool. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today.
What's your prediction?
My prediction. Oh, my predictions are all, they don't matter. You know, I ask Ivan. Ivan's good at predicting stuff, you know.
Yeah, Rocco hates when I predict properly. He goes, you, and I throw the butt in the background.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like,
texting me, you know, sending me nasty texts.
Yeah.
I may be oozing with confidence here. I'm for some reason 2-0 for us is coming through. A very cautious at game at the back, not running too many risks. The goals may be episodic. I have no
I have
idea.
that picture.
Oh, there you go. Ooh.
I have that picture. Of course I do.
Yeah. Beautiful picture.
I love him.
So.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, Rocco. I'm so sorry. He got me excited. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Mute her, Ivan. Mute her or throw her out. Just. No, but this was a lot of fun, guys. So the game against Milan, just a reminder, is on Tuesday at 3:45 p.m. Toronto time. So make sure that if you're at work, make sure you put in like a fake meeting during that time until 6. Yeah. And 6:45, and you're good. You're golden, right? Other than that, thank you all for tuning in. This was a lot of fun as always. We will have meetups coming up in the near future, so stay tuned, and we'll be announcing those on our Facebook page. So please make sure that you join our Facebook page. What is the address for that? You will find that at our website. There's a link, and our website is Bianconeri YYZ.com. So please make sure you visit that. We got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content, including past episodes of our our post-game meetups, and as well, just late breaking is the transfer tracker that I'm working on with the help of Ivan, with his support. So thank you, Ivan, for that. Thank you very much. And we're basically going to try to track all the good stuff like I've been trying to in the last years, looking at the best journalists and providing very little in terms of nonsense rumors. And those are always filtered through a BS filter that Ivan and I are doing our best to make sure we
Bob again. As a
again. Okay, we'll talk Mercato a little bit at the next meeting for sure. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Everybody, take care.
Bye.